dozen to 30, depending
Do you
on.
kind of know, do you do a rehearsal to know how many people are going to show up, or do you have a
We meet
a
at
phone
6.
call chain, or are you coming? How do you-
Greg has a list. So when I was doing it, I think it was John Booth. Does that sound right?
John Booth he's a townie.
So
Lives up
I think
on,
I think he led the band. Start when I was there, he was doing it, and then Greg Lane took it over. Greg Lane
I don't think it would have been Jonathan Booth that we're talking. He'd be too young for that. Jonathan Booth.
No, this guy's long gone.
Oh, no, it wasn't the one that I know of.
The name's in here, but
The Booths were a big name there, and Dick Booth lived on the corner right across the street.
so anyway, one of the booths.
Okay.
And it's in the notebook. Did it, so you would get something in the mail every year reminding you that, to
Don't forget his
show up.
date.
So you show up once, you get your name and address, now we get email address.
Yeah.
And Greg sends something out, and then I send something to the schools to try to get new people to come in.
So it's no practice.
Well,
We
Walk the
practice.
routine of the day.
We get together at 6.
Okay.
Is Greg still doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I grew up with Greg. He and I grew up right just down the street from him.
Yeah, I know. Up the street from you.
Okay.
He used to live in
Greg who?
Greg Lane.
Greg Lane.
He
Okay.
lived on West Oak Street.
Okay.
Good
There
to
you
know.
go.
He's so old.
Gotta get him in
He
here.
went to Burners High School.
Those Bernards guys. Yeah, we had a few of them in here.
Right,
Sloss
yeah,
went.
I went to Berkeley.
Oh, you
I
did
went to
too?
Bernard. Actually, anybody living in Basking
You
Ridge
had
could
to.
go
Well,
right there.
before Ridge wasn't built till the
Actually, it
60s.
was the Berners Township school system.
Right.
That's right.
It wasn't Burnersville, so it was because Burnersville broke away from it,
Yeah.
but they couldn't take the schools.
Right.
So then we practiced for an hour.
So you practice from 6 and then
6 till about 6:45, and then go outside. And where we play outside has changed over the years. We used to always play on the green.
on the
And
green.
actually,
Oh, right.
actually, Jim mentioned that he was involved in putting, for Christmas Eve, they put overhead lights so the band could see.
Could see the.
And do you remember what happened with, they changed something on the green that made it not feasible to do.
Remember
it
there
there.
was not too long ago, we were playing and all of a sudden the lights went out and we couldn't see the music?
Oh, yeah, that's different, that's after we were on the stairs probably.
No, we were on,
Oh, we were
yeah,
on
and
the
then we
green?
were on the green and then we had an
Okay.
electrical problem and then they moved us back to, which I don't mind, I like playing on the steps.
Yeah, so I
Better
think
view.
we're pretty much locked into the steps now.
Yeah.
That's been quite a few years now. It's not just yesterday they went to
No.
the state.
No,
It's
yeah.
at least
Wow.
40, because I don't ever remember being any place other than on the steps, and I've been going for 45 years now.
I
Yeah, the
went
band-
shorter than that.
The band was on the green for a
Yeah,
long
we
time.
played
flies,
on the green.
So that was the tradition, the band would be on the green, because I remember the overhead lights,
Right.
and I remember that I stood behind the memorial stone, but most people sat, but the trombones,
So, well, I know the trombone.
trombones are specials.
They're prima donnas.
We would stand in the back,
I'm
behind the
just a trumpet
stone.
player.
But there was more room somehow.
Yeah.
Now, when you're standing there, how long do you have to? You're saying you come out at like I don't know, 6:45, somewhere around there. I think I know what I've seen and my wife has seen. It's amazing that within, it seems like a 5-minute window, it goes from 20 people to 1,500 people.
Yes, exactly.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
Do you stand up there? Do you see that
We can't really see it.
coming?
No,
How the-
I see it because since I've been doing it, I go outside and make sure everything's in place like it's supposed to be. So I kind of skip the rehearsal
Uh-huh.
and just make sure the police.
But his
show
chops
up,
are in good shape, so he doesn't need the rehearsal.
Fire department showed up. And that kind
But you had mentioned, for example, that there could have been, let's just say there up to 3,000 or whatever people, all the way up to the Washington House,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, let's just
A
say,
packed crowd, not just a little.
yeah. So if you said there's 3,000 from Washington Street,
The
Washington House, all the way down to the front of the church,
It could be, I mean, because
basically.
they closed the street out there.
Yeah, you could probably break it down in terms of figuring out how
Yeah.
many people get you to the tree, how many people get you to Brush's, how many people get you.
It was so far away that, like I say, people would start singing down here, and they wouldn't start until about a minute later till they caught on
That's
what would be
amazing.
done.
Many times,
So they're off, it's really because of the sound travel?
Yeah, we-
What do they call it, a round or something?
Yeah, but
They started,
nobody
they
can tell because the people around them are.
and I've been there when people have been singing the wrong song,
Well,
because it doesn't matter.
I don't know if that's the tune or the
Well,
libation.
We did try amplification a couple of years, but it was just,
Yeah.
it wasn't the same, so we don't do that.
Uh-huh.
I think the first year Bill Corson did it, we gave him a microphone. And
Yeah, it was, it wasn't. the same.
Nobody liked it, and it was a pain in the neck, and Greg had to schlep all his stuff.
So it's not mic'd,
No.
it's just raw, you play,
Right.
they sing.
And most of the people there are there because they want to be there, and yeah, some
It's a
of them
half an hour,
sing, some of them are chatting, and doesn't matter. Although almost everybody gets a song sheet.
How
Yes.
many song sheets do they print a year, do you know? You know it's the same sheet.
The same tent?
I actually keep it in my jacket, my winter coat.
Do they put the date on? Because I got a whole bunch of them.
I think
The old
I
days.
think they do, or they
I
go
have to
by
look at
color.
them.
Is there any significance, do you know, to the color? Or one
No,
are pink, some are green, some are blue.
Karen Rue at Cedar Hills School just uses whatever paper she
Prints
has.
them off with whatever papers they.
Can you remember?
And
Show
that, actually
science
Phyllis Blackwell, does anybody remember Phyllis Blackwell?
Uh,
She was the last one
Did
that,
they put a date on
the
that?
designers,
Is there
not
anything
anymore.
on?
no
I
date.
stopped,
What
I
was the
stopped
old-
putting dates on.
Well, mine are rolled. The ones I got are rolled.
Yeah, the older ones, some of them had dates on them, but why put a date on it?
And the first one that I got, I think it was mimeographed,
Oh.
because
Yeah,
it was.
Like a
Of course.
ditto?
Like what?
Like a ditto?
No, mimeograph, it was the.
Yeah.
That's school. That's old school.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
old school.
Oh,
It was the
before
copy
me.
you put.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a young 55.
If you didn't smell it, you couldn't smell a mimeograph machine.
I can remember making copies
always
and come
have
out and be like,
They stuck.
yeah.
Right, okay.
And they were also wet
Yes.
Yeah.
for 2 weeks. You come home and you were blue fingers.
With the blue ink or
With
something.
the mimeograph machine.
Yeah, okay.
But that's all the schools had.
Yeah.
So then it's promptly over. The whole thing takes a half an hour.
Right, people just come out of nowhere, everybody sings, and then a lot of people go, both the Methodist and the Presbyterian churches have
Service
services
following.
right after, 7:35 here and 7:45 over there. So there's time for people to chat a little and then go inside. So that's where a lot of people disappear to. And that would account for,
A lot, yeah. I
that
mean, I
could be,
go to,
that could be 800 people between the two
Yeah, people in
churches.
St. Mark's do the same thing.
I mean, I go to
They go and sing and then they go right to church. It starts right at the end of it.
I would think that would have to be the oldest continuous
tradition
tradition
in
in
town.
It's
towns
not one of them.
in the area's history, wouldn't it?
Probably. But to point to this, where they're going, a lot of the people that live in the area here, they'll have friends and neighbors come to their house, park there, and we'll walk, and then we go back to their house for dinner, for supper, drinks, whatever. I know I go to the Johnny and Joe Riders every year after that. Yeah, so that's how a lot.
I'll never forget when my wife and I almost bought a house right on Finley, right across from the church. You live right up front.
Yeah.
And there were two things my wife always said when we were doing the inspections and everything. She was all excited about it. there's two things. She's like, one, I can't wait to have the rocking chairs on the porch for Charter Day. And the other thing is because we could just walk right down the street.
Is that the
on
house the
Christmas
Walkers
Eve.
bought?
It's the
Couple
one with
years
the
ago?
barn behind it.
That's the Walkers, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I looked at that house too.
The tax assessor owned it, I heard.
Who did?
At one time, the tax
Not that I
assessor,
know of.
because
That
there's a
was-
side
Tiny Heimbach
door.
was a-
There was a
Oh,
side
that's- yeah, I
door
heard that.
Years.
that led to
He
his
was-
office.
Yeah, that was,
There was evidently a side door that led to his office where you go downstairs and
I'm
pay.
not
pay your
sure about that
taxes.
story.
All right.
No, I don't.
Well,
I don't know that from 45 years
The
ago.
Streeters lived there too. Jimmy
Streeters,
the cop,
right, the
lived
cop
in
in
that.
town.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
Jimmy was good people.
Yes.
I got him on Halloween though. I was a cop and he came down and his pockets were full. I says, Jimmy, you got any eggs? He says, no. Took the nightstick and went down, they all broke and came out. Did it on the other side. I says, you're right, you don't have any eggs. And his pants were soaking.
I posted a picture of him. I do find.
And he's a good, understand
Old
something. Jimmy
picture.
Streeter's a neat guy.
Yeah.
Don't make it sound, he was just being a kid, being what he was. And Jimmy Streeter was good people.
Yeah,
Right.
he, it was funny, I posted a picture up when they put the first sign to the new police department up, and, he was in front of it like, I think doing this to it or something, and I just said, somebody tell me who this is, and God, about 20 or 30 people came in, yeah, I know who that is, it's him. Yeah, so, that's where I was exposed to.
So would you say this thing is more popular today than it has been, say, 10 years ago because of the size of the town?
It's hard to say, because some of these reports, I mean, it seemed like everybody within 50 miles came to this thing.
Yeah.
Now, I think from people, in my opinion, and I played for a long time, that I don't think there's, even though the town continues to grow, had a population of 28,000 people, I don't think that the new people that move in know about it or care about it or whatever. It just seems like it's a tradition that those of us that go have always gone. And, we bring, maybe our extended family, but I don't know that especially up in the hills, I don't know that they even feel like they're a part of
I don't
the
think the
town.
people from the hills would come, but the regular people in town hold parties, and they purposely, they.
For that night.
And they come here, and that's part of the whole day of their partying is they got half an hour here and then back to the house for Christmas Eve dinners, and families come, people have their families, but a lot of people know about it. I think the word gets out eventually.
Right.
but you said the hills, and that's true, I'm sure they don't
They're
much
not,
about
they're
it.
like
What about
another
Their own
corner.
little tough
That's
town,
their
I
own
think.
world.
Do they feel,
Yeah.
do they feel part of, if you grew up in Liberty Corner, would you feel obliged to this, or do they go, oh, that's Basking Ridge stuff, that's not?
No, they would come
No,
over
they
here.
would-
They come?
they come.
Yeah.
They would have any problem.
Liberty Corner would come,
Yes.
Of course.
but not Bedminster.
No,
No.
Liberty Corner is.
Well, the hills is partially Bedminster, partially Bernards
Yeah, but-
Township.
That's a
And-
whole
and
different.
it's
They
like
haven't
a-
been here to the academy. Some of them don't even know that there is a downtown Basking Ridge.
Well, they go to New York and they come back,
Yeah.
and that's it, it's a different
Yeah, it's a
society.
different mindset.
Yeah,
They moved out here to be in the country,
yeah.
and they haven't seen it yet.
That's true.
But there's people that come, there's
Yeah,
people.
there's some.
They're a little-
Seriously, for me to get
No,
over
they
from
never
Mountain
come.
Road over on the other side of town
Oh.
to here
Yeah.
is, it's a 6 mile, it's 6 miles. So
Yeah,
I remember
so
we
that-
used to
that would
have to eat
explain
dinner
why-
and leave at
You
6:30.
want to have a lot more people
To
come.
be
Because
parked
all the
here.
growth is on
It's on
the,
the outside.
There's another little problem here, where do you park?
Yeah.
Well,
there's a lot of parking. There is.
They
It
could
really is.
mean,
It
you
doesn't
can park
seem
in
to
the
be an
lodge.
issue.
Nobody
Right.
wants to walk these days. You can park in any one of the churches, you can.
Or
Yeah.
Oak Street. I see him even parking
A lot of
Oak Street.
people-
My street
Oak
is
Street's a
all the
great
way
place.
at
We lived on
42nd Street.
Spencer, we
that night.
walked, of course.
Everybody's parked there and walking up from down on East Lewis Street and all along Maple. But there is another factor that has to be brought into that, why it hasn't grown also with the hills, because of the ethnic background up there. A lot of them aren't Christian anymore.
Right.
They're Indian, Muslim,
Japanese,
yes.
yeah.
But the Japanese, a lot of them aren't Christians.
Yeah, they are,
But
yeah.
when we get to the Indian and and that other groups, and I'm not talking them down at all. I just right now have a mind. I can't think of what they are, but they're not Christian, so they're not going to come no matter what we do, and that's not
Just
bad
talking
either.
about living in Basking Ridge.
Not that they're not welcome to come if they
It's
want.
our-
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just a realization we have to make.
Well, and again, I think that it's funny, I just actually found it very easy to get involved in taking the kids to church right after. So it actually became easier because you could bring your kids, get them into church, do the quick service, get them out, because they're young and they're not easy to keep them running, right? And then
Everybody has family services.
And then we would go out, for dinner down on Spencer Road and then take them home and they would read the story and go to bed. So it's certainly fit in well with my, our process. And it's even easier now living, on Oak Street. It's not a 30-minute trek over to town. It's, quick, hop in a car, drive down here, find your secret spot, wherever you park, and
I could bring my family from Wayne. Some of them live in Wayne, and they would come, and I'd have supper, and we'd walk up.
But I can tell you that everyone that goes, they always have this saying. You know what the saying they refer to it as? The whole Whoville concept.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So I know my friends have called it.
What is that?
Have you ever seen the
Grinch.
Dr.
the
Seuss.
Grinch, the Dr.
It's
Seuss,
Whoville.
Whoville?
I don't have her email.
So Whoville, basically, the story of the Grinch, right, is he comes in, steals all the presents from the town, including the big town tree, and then he takes off and says he's destroyed
Dr.
Christmas
Seuss books.
for everybody, and then at the end, the town gets together where the tree was and sings, and his heart grows, and he brings everything back and becomes.
It sounds like it's something like the movie "It's a Wonderful World." Everybody loves it.
Wonderful life.
This is a real cartoon.
It's like that, but the point is, I think that's really funny is we always say that, who's coming to Whoville to go sing, because you all basically are around this giant Christmas tree, and the whole community is basically there and you're singing it. I can't believe you never saw it.
I never heard of it.
Or you read it. It's important.
And I read a lot.
Well, you gotta read this when you were
Or you
young.
can even watch the movie. I'm sure they have it on.
You wouldn't go pick it out of a library today.
Hey,
I
yeah.
have a range 29. They all.
I go to the library twice a week at least.
Well, ask them for Dr. Seuss books and go look at it and see. They're whimsical. Very
Is that the cat that has
Yes, that's him. Anyway,
Yeah, it's a whimsical.
they refer to it as Whoville. So I think it's great that, Jim's involved in it and that it is a tradition that just keeps going.
What years did you go to school
Still an artist.
at West
She's an
Hills?
amazing artist.
Well, I graduated from Ridge in '70.
Okay.
So you were,
Well, in '65, I was in '63.
way behind.
Yeah, my brother was closer to you. My brother was 56.
yeah, 56, I was 58.
And then Bob Behringer next door was 54.
Who?
Bob Behringer, you must have known the
Yeah,
Behringers.
the Barringers, yes.
Up on Rankin Avenue.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Bob was plus 54.
Wow. Okay, well, this will be a good discussion then. Of course it will. Well, Jim, thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you, sir.
thanks for inviting me.
I love that you have a book of all the history of that. Keep it going.
I'm trying, George did this.
Now, we live.
George Fish?
There's 14.
You talking about?
Fred.
Yeah. Very nice guy. He did a lot
Right,
of,
George Fisk just died recently.
Fisk did, but Frick is,
He's still kicking.
He's still kicking.
he's a nice guy.
Who died? Because, which one died?
George Fisk.
Fisk.
Because
Oh,
He used to live down in Cherry Lane.
Okay. Somebody told me that it was George Frick, and
No.
I really got upset because nobody told me. Now I know why they didn't tell me, because he didn't die.
Yeah, it's easy to confuse the two names.
Exactly.
And they're sort of about the same age, and they're both George.
Yes.
Would you like a glass of eggnog before you leave?
No, I'm
A
good.
water, cookies,
I'll take a water.
candy cane?
I'll take a water and a cookie. Good
Well,
sale.
thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, see you all at the Carol soon.
We will absolutely be there.
Do you remember the year that it was so foggy that you couldn't, if you were standing on the road, you couldn't see into the rock? It was that bad?
I know. I've been
There's
there.
years it rained, it's years it snowed, it's years it was freezing
There was
cold.
one year that
There's
all the
years it
trumpets
was
froze
warm.
up and the trombones had, we had.
But you still go.
So stay in cover for them.
Yeah. Wonderful times.
For a long time, we had a lot of rain.
Here, I'm gonna open this for you.
Over there.
Okay.
Okay. But if you're not doing it, the Presbyterian Church is also at 4 o'clock, hosting a Christmas oratorio. They absolutely amazing. It's a free handbell choir and the music is and that's pretty good. Right there. All right, so give Cindy a call.
I'm gonna give you a tour.
I'm not either, but once a year, you know, you just have to,
No way, I don't think I can.
you have to get into it.
My wife loves it.